So one of my loyal Patreon supporters asked me, why do some men get attached to some women and not others? All right. And this is something that could cause a lot of frustration, a lot of lack of self-esteem, because we say to ourselves, why don't they like me? Why do they like that fucking bitch? And why not me? Right. That's what we think. So I'm going to answer some of those questions, and hopefully by the end of the video, you could have a bigger picture, because when it's personal, you amplify everything, right? So we're gonna talk about that, and it's important to know this, because once you watch this video, you're gonna be able to you're gonna be able to accept this reality without making it personal and without making a story out of it. So let's begin. By the way, we're having a 20% off special on all of my courses and coaching calls for this month only. All right, we're on vacation, so we have the time. Click on the description down below, and you can see the coupon code right there to get 20% off. The coupon code expires December 1st, so get it now before it expires. Okay, let's begin. So the first one is that you just have basic chemistry, right? There is nothing you could do about it. I've made friends with. I remember one time this guy was showing me his room because I wanted to rent it, and we became friends. Why? Because we just had chemistry. Like, there's no explanation for it, right? And there are people who you meet, and some men and women that you meet in your life that you just have good chemistry with. They may not be your type, but because you have great chemistry, being with them is intoxicating. And how is that created? It's just a natural process. Just like, why do you prefer burgers over pizza? I don't know. I just prefer it. It's like it's in your chemistry, right? With some people, you have more chemistry than others, and there's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing you could do about it. There's a reason why you're better friends with this person over that person, right? And when it comes to the chemistry part, look, like I said, there's nothing you could do about it. You cannot take it personal. It's outside of your control. So that's one thing, right? They both have good chemistry, and it is what it is. And heck, you might even be a better person on paper than the other person, right? You might be more of a catch. You might be more high value relatively to the other person. But if the person who you like has more chemistry with that other more loser person per se, like to be in, then there's nothing you could do about it. And trying to force it will only push them away. The second thing is they got caught at the right time. The reason why they may like somebody over you is it may not be because they're better than you. It might be because that person caught them at the right time. I remember I like if I go through like a moment, like periods of depression, I gotta be very careful with the women that I meet, because I could easily create a bond if I project on them. If I feel bad and I try to find comfort through them, I could easily fall in love with them, because if I'm in a bad state, when they disappoint me, it's not just a small fall, it's a huge fall, because things hurt. You're more sensitive, things are more tender. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that person, most likely the reason why they like somebody more than you, even though you might be better, is because that person caught them at the right time. Maybe they caught them on the rebound and they were looking for somebody to love because their ex broke up with them, and then you came, and then that person came out of nowhere and caught them at the right time, and they're like, oh, I want to feel loved, and they gave them the love, and then they transferred the love they have for their ex onto that person. Like, that type of transference does happen, right? So they just caught them at the right time. They were emotionally vulnerable, and when you do that, I mean, it creates a love that lasts. I mean, at least for me, it happened to me where, like, I never got over my ex, and then I met another girl. She hurt me as much as the ex hurt me, and as a result, rather than healing, the emotions I have from my ex went onto her, right? So that's what happens when they catch you at the wrong time. Another reason why they like them over you is because they hurt them more, right? Unfortunately, some people will only like you if you hurt them, like if you treat them like shit. If you cheat on them, that's when they realize they love you. If you break up with them, that's when they realize they love you. They need to feel some pain in order for them to feel like they want to love you back, right? And when you hurt somebody and you leave them, some people's ego cannot take that. And so they just get obsessed about getting that person. And you might come along and they may actually feel some chemistry with you, but the pain is so great. Their obsessive desire to get revenge through getting them back, because it's like redeeming yourself. You can't overcome that, right? When somebody's hurt by somebody and they still haven't gotten over them, that person still has power over them, and they could come back, tell them that they're sorry, right? And you'd be surprised how many people will forgive them. And unfortunately, in order to overcome that, you have to hurt them more than the person who hurt them, right? It gets very slippery, and it's better not to get in that route, because your hands your hands have to get dirty, right? That person's not worth it. So that's one thing, right? So if you meet somebody like that and they've been cheated on by their ex and they're telling you how bad it was and how recent it was, most likely they're not over them, and most likely the ex has power over them, and I would prefer to leave. That's not a winning battle. Choose your battles. Choose battles you could win. Like, a lot of people just choose you guys choose just Mount Everest. So that's one thing. The next thing is that this person affects a projection, right? A projection is when our emotions cloud reality in such a way that you could cut through the fog, right? So it's kind of like, maybe for example, when you see somebody and they remind you of somebody who you hate, right? And they didn't do nothing, but you just don't like that person. For some reason, you just don't like that person. That's a projection, right? You're not getting to know the person, but you're seeing this person through a schema. Or even, like, for example, it's racism, right? Racism. If you hate black people, as an example, right? You see all black people as bad. Why? Because you're projecting. Just because one black person mugged you doesn't mean every black person is going to mug you, right? But because you're projecting, you just assume everyone is like that. Either because of their behavior or because of the way they look, right? And so some things will activate a projection. For racism, it's the color, right? For dating, it's maybe a behavior. Maybe your dad didn't love you enough. Maybe your dad didn't give you attention. And so when you meet somebody and they don't give you attention, that behavior reminds you of the lack of attention your parents didn't give you. And so it activates then your natural response to not being loved when you were a kid was to chase, as an example, right? And so just like some cues give addicts an urge for the drug, that behavior creates your natural reaction that has been conditioned to chase, right? So then all of a sudden you start projecting. You didn't fix the problem with your dad because he behaved this way. Now you're unconsciously seeing your dad in that person simply because they behave that way, or they look like your dad. Or for men, she looks like your ex, she looks like your mom, whatever, right? That projection, there's nothing you could do about it. And when somebody, and for example, I was seeing a girl who I didn't like, right? She liked me a lot, but I didn't like her back. But the other girl that I was seeing reminded me of my ex, so I liked her more, right? And the girl that I was talking to had no idea that the reason why I prefer the ex over her was simply because I was projecting, right? And if she was smart, she wouldn't take that personal. But if unfortunately she has low self-esteem, she will take that personal, right? So that's the whole point of projection. Is that you're not really seeing the person, you're seeing a projection. You're seeing a mirage of your own reality, of your own imagination, right? So the projections are created through their behavior or the way they look, right? So that's why some women, if they have daddy issues, they'll date older guys, much older guys, as a way to get approval from daddy, right? As an example. So that's one thing, projection. And again, you can't control this. The next thing is that maybe this person, for example, so another reason why somebody likes somebody over you is because that person maybe doesn't like them back, right? For example, some people will only like you if you don't like them back. They're just they're legit that's toxic, right? Those are toxic people. The only reason why they like some people is because those people rejected them. It's an unconscious way of self-sabotage. It's an unconscious way of running away from commitment. It's an unconscious way of not staying single, but just self-sabotage in a way, right? So that's one thing. She just don't want this person doesn't want them. And that's why I tell people to pull away a little bit, be a little distant sometimes, give them a little space, right? Don't make them feel like you 100 that they 100% have you, right? You want them to always have an inch of like, will they leave? Because if you don't do that, maybe your lack of giving this person the signal that you can leave if they fuck up will create that, this person wants me, I don't want them. But look, if you're at that point, leave them. Seriously, like, I'm not even lying to you. Like, that person, you shouldn't be with people like that. They're not meant for relationships. The next thing is that they get scared off, right? The reason why is because maybe the other person didn't scare them off. And you were so goddamn needy that you scared them off, right? And this is the thing, is that sometimes people do like you, right? There are levels to it. You could be at a 100% liking people, right? I mean, what I'm trying to say is that there are levels to how much neediness a person will handle coming from you. If you meet somebody and you guys have 100% perfect chemistry and you act needy from the start, they're going to tolerate it because they like you, right? But if they like you at a 60 and you start off really needy, that might scare them off, right? So you want to start slowly. Like when you first meet a dog, right? Have them sniff you first, right? Don't start cold and warm up. Don't start warm and cool down. No, start cold and warm up. And this takes discipline. Because the worst thing, the most fucked up thing about dating is not the people who didn't like you for not liking you. It's the people who didn't like you because you fucked it up. That's the worst feeling. And the last thing, this is the most important one, is proximity. The reason why some people like somebody else over you is because they just work together, or they live together, or they have friends together. The proximity factor. That you can't, because proximity is the number one thing that predicts who you're going to marry. There's a high likelihood you're going to marry somebody in your city more than somebody who lives in Timbuktu, right? Proximity. And unfortunately, the only way to fix it is to get close, work where they work and whatnot. But that's life, right? And most of these, you see, especially with proximity, the point of this video is to help you understand that most of the time it's not personal. It's not a personal thing. Life is not after you. Some people just don't like you, right? And understanding why they don't like you and not trying to do something about it in terms of try to fix it, right? Have high intention, but just low attachment. These things, honestly, they help me. Honestly, they give me a better perspective. They help me reassess myself a little bit better, and I don't take things as personal as I used to, right? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want me, and thank you to all of my Patreon supporters who suggest these types of videos. If you guys want to become Patreon members, click on the description down below where you can watch videos that are not on YouTube. If you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, there's also 20% off coupon code for this month only, finishing at the 1st of December. Click on the description down below to use a coupon code to get 20% off all of my courses and coaching programs because we're on vacation. All right? Okay. By the way, meditation, Sunday, New York City. If you guys want to attend, click on the description. Message me on WhatsApp to purchase tickets. All right, ladies. So finally, I have released my second course for women, which is Natural Chemistry. This course is a 5-week course. 5-week course where every week you're going to get a new set of videos based on specific issues. This course is all about how to create and maintain the attraction in any man. This will help you create love. This will help you deepen the love with your man. This is not about manipulation. This is not about playing games. This is genuine natural chemistry. No more short-term partners, no more being fooled. Why? Because I will reveal to you not only how to create attraction in the first week, but also how to understand male nature, how to understand their tricks, how to prevent from being too attached, signs that he's the wrong guy, signs that he's a narcissist, signs that he's a mama's boy, signs that he's an emotionally available guy, emotionally unavailable guy. We go over everything. We go over this 3rd week, setting boundaries. We go over the 3rd week, controlling your emotions, right? Setting boundaries, 4th week. 5th week, embracing your masculine and the feminine, right? And on top of that, I have over 10 different bonuses. 10 different bonuses, my Lord have mercy, right? With a money back guarantee. The bonus are 1, the natural chemistry, over 10 hours of content, right? The breakup formula, how to deal with a breakup, right? The connecting with your man, right? Establishing a life of abundance, social mastery, understanding your dark side, the goal setting seminar, which is about how to set and achieve goals, practical mastery that will teach you how to master anything. The laws of human nature. I have a book club for the laws of human nature with over 4 hours of content, right? The transformational seminar in a pocket, which is my mindfulness seminar, and the Chase audiobook. This originally is $1,800, but you get it starting at $97, ladies and gentlemen, right? $97. We have different packages, but all of this starts at $97. And you know what? You can check it out for free if you want. Yeah, for all the freeloaders, I have free videos just for you. Free videos, all right? So you could just check it out for free, and then you could get out. Nothing wrong with that, all right? So, and on top of that, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked. That's right. No questions asked. I don't mind. I just want you guys to check it out because I know when you take one look, you're going to want to buy it. I can promise you. Just like my other course, the psychological game of attraction, it was a hit. You're going to love this one. This one is not about manipulation. This is genuine natural chemistry. Order it now, all right? I'll see you guys inside. Peace out.